We want to welcome to the MITechnews.tv Tarek, Sobh, who is president of Lawrence Technological University. That's my employer. It's in the main campus is in Southfield. And we wanted to have Dr. Sobh on today, basically to talk about his vision for Lawrence Tech going forward, but more broadly for higher education in general, where he thinks the university experience, the college experience is headed. So, Dr. Sobh, for people who have not met you before, I know you were on the show once before when you were provost. Explain to people briefly, if you could, about how you came to be at Lawrence Tech.
Of course. Thank you, Matt, and thank you, Mike, for the invitation to visit with the audience today. It's been an amazing experience here, at Lawrence Tech for the last couple of years. I came to Lawrence Tech from the University of Bridgeport in Bridgeport, Connecticut, where I served as engineering dean for close to 20 years and a senior executive, the executive vice president of the university. And my own background is engineering, particularly the area of robotics and automation. I am a roboticist by training. Came to the US from Egypt in '88 after finishing my undergraduate degree in computer engineering and automatic control. Joined the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia, where I got my master's and PhD in computer science and engineering, specializing in robotics, actually. I worked in Philips Research Labs in upstate New York as a research scientist, and I served at the University of Utah in Salt Lake City for a few years as a professor of computer engineering, and then joined the University of Bridgeport, as I mentioned, in Connecticut, where I stayed for 25 years, culminating in being the university executive vice president and served as a dean for 20 years. In addition, of course, to wonderful work with amazing colleagues in the areas of robotics, automation, manufacturing, vision. I started thinking of a position in higher education in a technological university at the provost or the president level. And, since there are only 13 comprehensive doctoral private technological universities in the country, it was a very limited job search process at the end of my tenure in Bridgeport. And I, of course, in 2020, the provost position opened at Lawrence Tech, and I was very blessed to be chosen as the provost of Lawrence Technological University. Again, one of the truly eminent 13 doctoral private comprehensive universities in the whole country out of 6,000. And I've watched the progress of the university for the last 20 years, which was amazing. And I was very blessed to be chosen for that position. And then my predecessor decided to retire after a very distinguished 10 years of service. And I went for the job one more time and was considered for the president position. And after an 8 months national search, again, I was truly blessed to be chosen as the president. And I just started a couple of months ago. I've had the pleasure of talking with Mike and the audience when I was provost last year. And as I started, I think, mentioning a couple of minutes ago, with Lawrence Tech being really on the leading edge of technology, particularly engineering, science, technology, and computing, and being one of these very elite universities, the way I really think of changes coming forward in higher education is as follows. You will see very, very significant movements towards interdisciplinary programming coming up in higher education. The whole idea of being restricted to one focused major or career path is really going out the window. When you take a look at the jobs of the future, many of which, as you know, both Matt and Mike don't even have a title yet, you will see that they are really a very eclectic mix of disciplines and fields of study that seemed not so long ago to be very diverse but now they are coming together. When you take a look at the area of business intelligence and data analytics, you'll see that it is really this very interesting set of studies within the areas of computer science, mathematics, statistics, visualization, and artificial intelligence. When you take a look at the area, again, my own area, robotics, automation, smart cities, and Industry 4.0, you will see that it is, again, a mix and a very diverse set of skills that are needed to work in this area, encompassing things like, again, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, computer science, computer engineering, mathematics, some cases, quantitative physiology and anatomy, if the work is to be done in the area of prosthesis, and again, many coding, artificial intelligence, computer vision, machine perception, etc. So higher education is going to be different in a couple of ways. Number one, you will see all of these emerging skill sets that are needed for certain industries that would be collectible via studying in various disciplines. And the degree name is not going to be incredibly relevant as it is now. Auto industry and where we are here in Michigan and the Metro Detroit area is an incredible example. When you take a look at the industry in terms of technical skills 20, 30 years ago, industry hired mainly mechanical engineers. Fast forward 20, 25 years, the industry is hiring a wide variety of very, very different types of skills in addition to mechanical engineers, including computer engineer, autonomous engineering specialists, computer vision, automation, machine perception, and signal processing, electric vehicles specialists, energy specialists, and so on and so forth. And we're seeing more and more of that. It's going to be really about the skill set at the end of the initial educational journey of somebody in higher education. And it will also be about the accumulation of various credentials that do not necessarily each need to be a degree that would be relevant for a particular industry. So that's one big change coming up in general, both at Lawrence Tech and in higher education in general. And it's happening more rapidly at very progressive universities that are coping with the time and technological in nature, like Lawrence Tech. And this is the path we're on. And also, within the area of professional development, you will see very significant changes coming up in the future. It used to be that professional development was limited number of hours that mature students would go through after having worked for a number of years to update their skills. The concept is also going to change very significantly. Right now, the percentage of offerings of universities within the area of professional development on the average per university is less than 5%, and 95% of the business of universities is really issuing degrees at the various levels in specific disciplines. I submit that within the next 10 to 20 years, you'll find close to 50% of the business of progressive, successful universities being in the area of professional developments, not necessarily degrees. Could be micro-credentials, could be certifications, could be the acquisition of skill sets within a certain period of time. And it will not only be for employees who have been in the workforce for quite a while, it will probably start right after high school. And we're seeing that now more and more and more. You're seeing students coming out at the age of 18 from high school, going through and specializing and coding for the gaming industry and or other disciplines like that within the area of autonomy and or robotics and or software design and so on and so forth, and being ready in 6 months for the workforce at a very high level. And they would keep updating themselves as they progress and as the disciplines and the workforce changes. So you'll see these two big changes in general, the interdisciplinarity becoming incredibly intense, the concept of departments, colleges disappearing and becoming centers. I mean, look at LTU, we're starting a center in digital and integrated media arts, communications, graphic design, and marketing, for example, that will encompass lots of certifications, lots of micro-credentials, degrees, research opportunities, and so on and so forth. Another center in the area of robotics, automation, manufacturing and industry 4.0. We already have a great center in the area of innovative material research, and the list goes on. And the second big change, again, is in the area of the shift and professional development to be offered as a very significant part of the business based on the needs of industry and to students starting right from the get-go from high school as opposed to employers.
Well, there's also some additional programs being added at Lawrence Tech in the life sciences and healthcare, correct?
Absolutely. And again, when you take a look at the higher education landscape, the two areas in which there is dramatic national need, dramatic in terms of workforce and in terms of the number of individuals to specializing in these areas, it is really healthcare and STEM. I mean, when you take a look at the national needs in the area of STEM and engineering, we are short by at least 250,000 every year in terms of whom we graduate from our schools of engineering and technology, and there are 300 of them within the 6,000 institutions of higher learning, only 300. And the number we produce at the bachelor's level, master's level, and PhD combined is short, about 250,000 from the national needs based on the recent Labor Department numbers. The same is absolutely true of healthcare. We definitely need more nurses. We definitely need more physical therapists. We need more chiropractors. We need more doctors. Absolutely 100%. We need more dentists, more physician assistants, and the list goes on and on and on. And the need is dramatic within this area. So to address this in Lawrence Tech, we actually have started new programming in the area of physician assistant, as some of your audience might know. Now we have a nursing school that graduated its second cohort last a couple of days ago, actually. We're starting very innovative programming in cardiovascular perfusion, the only program at the master's level in the state. We just started it. We received close to 500 applications for 10 slots without even advertising the program. That's how the shortage is. Every one of our health sciences graduates are finding a job from day one, actually before day one, way before they graduate because of the dramatic shortage. The same applies in STEM. We've started new programming in artificial intelligence, new programming in data sciences, new programming in business analytics, and we have many more certifications and other type of professional development programs in areas like the Internet of Things and Industry 4.0 and electrification of cars and decarbonization of buildings, and the list is very significant. But to answer your question, Matt, yes, we're starting all of these programs and certifications and professional development opportunities in areas of need. And these two areas, namely STEM and healthcare, are two such areas. Programs we've started in the area of mobility and autonomy in general, not only autonomous navigation, but autonomy in other venues of transportation, have also been very successful within the new offerings at Lawrence Tech.
All right, well, we've reached the end of the segment. Thank you very much for your time and for these very penetrating and cogent thoughts on the future of higher education. We're glad to have you as our guest today. Tarek Sobh, President, Lawrence Technological University in Southfield.